How do you feel like you responded to these last 3 or 4 days of practice?
I look at things, man. You guys have been around me enough to know, I've used this line, and some people actually read your articles. I can't believe that, but there are some people out there that do, because they kidded me about the line. Some people are glasses half full, some people are glasses half empty. I'm glasses broken. That's my mentality. And I've always been like that. I'm not saying it's a very healthy way of living, but it's the way that I live. So I'm always seeing the things that we could do better. And our group does not have the fire that I want them to have. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm interpreting wrong. Maybe they show fire different than I want to see fire. I don't know. So I have been a bit frustrated with a number of different things, but I thought in the second half we played in a way that hopefully we can exhale. We go into final exams, so we're off all week before we host a really good Arkansas State team predicted to win their league. So it'll be a great week for us to get a lot of things done, and it's always better to go to work after a win in which in the second half you play dominant basketball.
Andy, 16 3-point attempts in the first half. Was that by design? Or?
They zoned us the whole game. So I had a feeling they play a matchup zone. And when I saw who they were starting, they started their 4 best players, which are all perimeter players, with 1 post guy. And they've kind of done different things. And when I saw that, I said, hey, they're going to zone us. And so they zoned us, and that's what they probably should do from a matchup standpoint, and then just tried to attack us off the dribble. I didn't think defensively we were very good at guarding the bounce early. In the second half, I thought we did a much better job. I've had a couple of lapses here and there, but overall I was pleased with our ability to communicate and stay in front of the bounce until there at the bitter end. I'm glad to see the ball go in the basket. I think for our 3 primary shooters, Butta, Tyron, and AJ, it's good to see the ball go in the basket for all 3 of them in a game, because that has not happened all year. So season high 10 3-pointers, and those guys were major catalysts in that. So hopefully that will help them moving forward.
The 24 assists, it's the second highest you've had this year. How much of that is just making shots, and how much of it is just doing a good job of sharing the ball?
Well, I think we do share the ball, but obviously you don't get a credit for an assist until the ball goes in the basket. So we've got very willing passers. Our bigs are pretty good passers. Yax would rather pass it. Tonight he had 6 assists, 5 turnovers. I would rather him on a couple of those. Maybe we made them, maybe he didn't. I feel like he's about 6 or 7 feet from the basket, and those are the plays that we need Yax to finish. But he's always looking to facilitate out of that high post. And when you're playing a zone and we got it to the high post, which was a focal point, they collapse. You're going to have guys open. And, again, it's good to see the ball go in the basket.
Tyron Moore and Ezewiro get the start tonight.
Yep.
And, 14 points, and Ezewiro, a strong performance as well. But can you talk a little bit about both of those guys and the starting role tonight?
Yeah, just changing the vibe, as we referred to. I said after the middle game, I'm just not pleased with what we're getting. You always give the experienced returners the first opportunity. They have earned that, and especially if they've done it in the summer, and they have. They've done it in the summer, but they were a pivotal part of a special run for this program. So they get the opportunity, and then they're not producing to the level that is their standard and that is the standard that basketball says you must play at in order to win. Then again, as a coach, you would be foolish not to look into other options. I was just we have not started Tyron and Jabori together, and we were anticipating some zone. So I thought Tyron would be a guy that maybe could get going for us, shooting the ball in from the 3. And then, Brad Ezewiro has not started for us inside. I have not thought Chris has played consistently up to his standard. He's had some terrific moments. But I thought he did a great job in the second half, Chris being responding off the bench, making some plays at the basket.
This time of year, when you have 4 or 5 days, a lot of times in between, have a lot of practice in between, do you approach practice different after a win compared to after a loss? I mean, is there a different, vibe sort of to it?
Yeah, I think kids are a little more coachable after a win, especially the ones that played good. Now, some guys that didn't play good, they're going to be what they are. But I think that I've been hard on these guys after the middle game, because I just been so disappointed, not only there but throughout. When we you lose your opener, and then you play 2 days later, and then you play 2 days later, then you play 3 games in 4 days. So you really hadn't had back-to-back, where you could go about a 3-day period and really dig into trying to get back to the basics. We were able to do that after the middle game. We'll be able to do that again. And this team's got to improve. We've got to get better. I see some things in which we're getting better, but we've got to improve. And the only way that you improve is through practice.
This is kind of off the subject a little bit, but when you hear as a coach, when you hear the reaction of a guy like Ryan Donahue, who puts a lot of work in, but you never see it or don't see it often on game day. As a coach, how much do you sort of enjoy that too?
I enjoy it. I just told our team I didn't really like the way that we finished the game because we didn't play it as seriously as we should. I mean, I don't mind guys taking shots, but when you're out there searching for shots, why don't we attack? Why don't we attack? Why did we do this? Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we stay in attack mode? I mean, you guys are on scholarship too, everybody but Donnie. Donnie's not, but. At the end, it's always great to be able to give those guys opportunities because, as you said, they're kind of unsung heroes for us behind the scenes.
I know Tony's been here a long time, but can you talk about his performance tonight?
I think he's joining us, or he's out there. I think he's going to join us, so you'll get an opportunity to talk to him. I'm just proud of the kid. He was the first kid that came here. When I got the job, he's the first guy that we had committed. It's good to see him, man. I think when he is attacking that rim, it gives us an extra dimension. He's probably our most stable perimeter defender. I thought he got his hands on a lot of balls today. It was really a catalyst for us defensively, which allowed us to get out in the open floor and shoot a season-high 72% in the second half. So 24 assists, 10 three-pointers, 72% in the second half. We dominate points in the paint. We dominate off the glass. We did a good job of moving the ball. So it was a good win for us, and it came at a good time leading into a very important week in a challenge next Sunday against Arkansas State. Thank you.
Good.
What's it feel like to get back on track a little bit?
It's great. Early losses have you down a little bit, but, like Coach AK tell us, trust the work. It'll all come around. Just keep getting in the gym, doing what you do. Eventually it'll go down how it's supposed to.
One thing he talked about after the Middle Tennessee game was, maybe changing some rotation and kind of using practice over the next last 3 or 4 days or whatever to sort of determine some of that stuff. What was practice like? Was it a little different in these last 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, he changed some stuff around. Everybody was going at each other. We was way more competitive and just, being grit, edged up.
Did you enjoy that? Or
Yes, sir. Sir. It's always a pleasure to get on the court and do what you love to do.
So do you feel, Tony, as this season's progressing, do you think the guys are communicating a little better, or is it just too soon?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit too soon, but, we just got to trust. We know what we're capable of and just keep the locker room together and come out and perform the way we're supposed to perform.
How much does it change things when you hit threes? I mean, you're hitting threes tonight as a team.
Yes, sir.
How much does that change things?
It changed a lot when you see shots go in, and it give you more energy, more edge. Feel me? But yeah, we trust in the work.
When you guys second half, I think you made probably first 15 out of 16 shots or something, something crazy where you hit almost every shot for a lot of the second half. When you get in roles like that as a team, how much fun is that when you get in like that?
It's a lot of fun, It's always fun to see your brothers, you feel me, happy and doing what they're supposed to be doing and what they're capable of.
You had a lot of fun. 15 points. I mean, how close were you to getting that dunk that you got?
God. He's supposed to be on Sports Center, bro. I sold.
You got to dunk the next one down.
Yeah.
That made up for it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for Tony?
I'll ask one question. Tony, Kurt Bloom and Mo Finley probably the Energizer Bunny on the broadcast. But Coach talks about your defense a lot, perimeter defense. What do you enjoy more out on the court when you get out there? Defense or just the highlight dunks on the court?
Defense. You feel me? I always feel good to be able to say, oh, he's not scoring. That's how I look at it. I mean, they get off. They Division I players too, so they might make a couple shots, but I take pride in not letting my man score.